Hello, beautiful people. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Hilda Boltzmann. I am a Christian content creator. I currently live in Sierra Leone, and I am a year 2 student studying public relation and marketing communication. Thank you guys so much for stopping by. So for today's video, based on the title, I will be talking about mental health awareness. So we are in the month of May, and it is Mental Health Awareness Month, and I would like to just talk on some of the things that affect the youth, parents, and kids. So without further ado, let's get into the video. What is mental health? Mental health includes psychological, emotional, and social well-being of individuals that affects the way we think, act, or behave. So for the youths, we all know, we've been hearing the saying that youths are the future leaders of tomorrow, right? So tell me, aren't the parents supposed to be the ones to train them to become leaders? You tell me. So parents play a very important role in the lives of youth. Some of the things that youth struggle with is that they get pressured from social media and by their peers on becoming successful before the age of 25. Or even if not before the age of 25, they struggle with being successful, how they see people on social media post about, oh, I have so much money, I'm living in this country, I travel how I want, and I'm 21, just 22. I kid you not, I used to see these people, right? Especially girls my age, and having been able to travel to different countries, knowing that I'm their age and why can't I travel? I used to be like, oh my god, I want to, like, start having money and just travel the way I want to and all. I realized that success is a process and that it takes time to reach where you want to, but you just have to be consistent. So youth of today want to be successful without putting in the hard work. That affects them so much because not being able to achieve or be successful at the age you want starts making them to think that they're not worth it, or that they are late in life, or they're getting old, or they can't reach their targets or their goals. Let me tell you, you are very young. As a youth, always remember and always look forward to where you want to be in life. Be in your present, focus on where you want to go, and don't mind your past, because if you want to be successful in the future, then you have to look forward, be consistent. So because of the fact that they want to be successful and what they see on social media, the luxury of living and traveling, they too would want to do the same. And they're forgetting that the country that we live in right now, it makes us slow, or is slow in allowing us to achieve what we want to achieve. In Europe, however, you see youths able to experience a life and travel how they want to, because there is job opportunities and things are a bit easier for them. But because of the fact that they don't focus on that, they only focus on the fact that they cannot achieve what they want at that point, they start having mental breakdown, depression, saying, oh, it's not easy, I don't have money. Like, that's not an excuse. You cannot be successful if you have a poor set of thinking, or what you're planning is not something that pushes you. So as a youth, the first thing you need to focus on is your mindset. You have to change your mindset. Focus on the fact that you want to get somewhere. Focus on the fact that you want to be successful. So yeah, another thing that you struggle with based on peer pressure is drug abuse. Right now, drug abuse is an issue in our country, Sierra Leone, and it is affecting the way our country is going. You go to the street right now, you see youths taking kush. Their lives are, it's not good. Why? Because one, we don't talk about the issues affecting us. Two, if only we were doing counseling in Sierra Leone, as in, if you are in school, you have counselors where you go and talk to them about what you want to do in life, what's going on with you right now, and all that. Are you trying now are the ones going through so much because of the fact that, oh, maybe they don't have the resources to get to where they want to be, or to start doing what they want, they'll start resulting to drug abuse. But my question here is, if you have the money to buy drugs, things that will harm you, why not take that money, put it into something useful. Go to the market, ask for, do you need assistant, do you need an apprentice? But why don't our youth think of it, or all youths of our nowadays or of this country think about is, I want to work in big offices, I want to do this, make money quickly, but you don't want to go through the process. Youths want to be successful, but they are lazy. Ask me why I say they are lazy. You are young, energetic. Why don't you do the hard jobs? So as a youth, if you are watching this video, you have nothing at all to do, no schooling, no education, no job at all, and you have, let's say, 100,000, 100 years. Take that money and multiply it. How? A few days ago, I decided to start selling butterscotch at home. Why? Because I needed money. As small as it might be, I got some profit out of it. You cannot be a youth, you want to be successful, and you are lazy. It does not work like that. Listen, as a youth, there are so many jobs you can do. Welding. You can be an apprentice for a mechanic. You can check out for laundry jobs. Go ask for a job. But before you do any of this, make sure that your integrity is intact. Make sure that your honesty is intact. It's not easy to trust people based on how the situation and the country is going. But as a youth, we do not want to carelessly live our lives. We want to make use of every opportunity. Another thing that affects youth is that the fact that they do not speak up. Listen, we all need somebody. You might not have 10 or 5 or 6 or 3 friends, but you might have one friend. Have somebody you can talk to about what you're going through. It is always good and better to speak up than hide what you're feeling. I'm saying this because I, for one, am someone that struggles with that, but it is a good thing that I speak to God. I'm a good listener and I'm good at advising and talking to people and listening to their problems, but I actually find it so hard to tell other people my problems. I always talk to God. That's why whenever I pray, it takes time because I will literally be telling God about everything. If you see me talk about my issue or an issue, that means it is something that has been disturbing me for a while. Only because I had been in a situation wherein I needed people, they were not there. But do I blame them? In a way, I used to blame them. But thinking about it, I don't. Because people only know what you tell them. That's the thing. You don't expect someone to know that you're going through something without you telling them that, oh, this is what I'm going through. You don't expect someone to read your mind. It is only God that knows everything that happens with you. So I tell God my problems. Then, well, I have my sisters who I share my thoughts and my experiences with. So one thing I suggest you to do is to always find someone to talk to. Even if you don't have many people, just find somebody. I remember there was a time that I was going through a transition, okay? So I was attending a private school, one of the best actually. I can't mention their name right now. So I used to attend this private school and I got transferred by my dad to another private school. Why? Because the school fees of the first school was so expensive and my dad was like, no, I cannot be paying 10 million and something for a year school fee. Why? Imagine you're in S1, you have to go till S3. Anyways, fast forward, I was transferred to another school, and then guess what? I was asked to sit back in SS1 again. I felt so bad. I asked my dad, can't I just wait? Can't I just stay in the school? And he was like, no, I cannot afford this. It's not like he didn't love me. He did. That was the best he could do at that time. But that was what he wanted to do at that time because of the funds. When I was transferred to that school, I cried. I was thinking all sorts of thoughts. What will my friends say? They will say that I failed. Imagine me sitting back 1 year Imagine my other friends will be going to another class and me, I'll be sitting back. Ah, in my mind, I was thinking all sorts of things. And thank God, God really has had a purpose for my life. And thank God, there's this one lady that I used to call my sister back then. She was so good to me. She was so helpful. I told her that, oh my God, I'm about to do this and this. I want to kill myself. I want to die, which God forbid, I'll never think of ever again in my life, because I know who I am in Christ now. At that time, I was a Christian, but I didn't know God that much. Mm-mm. So I was talking to her. Oh, I can't repeat. I don't want to repeat. It's like I'm a failure. Hey, she was the one that stood there, advised me. She said that it will all be okay. At that time, I cut everybody off. I didn't want them to ask me questions. Even when I started going to the other school, when I transferred, I stopped being their friends because I didn't want them to think any other thing. Imagine when I could have communicated, one, and two, it was not their fault. And thankfully, I had that lady. She was really helpful to me. At that point in time, God really knew that I needed her. She's not in Sierra Leone actually. She's in another country. We don't talk anymore, but I will forever be grateful to that lady because I am here. I am here right now because of God, because of the fact that God had a plan for me and He used her. Because honestly, I kid you not, I was really serious about killing myself. I was really serious. Hey, you don't even understand. But yeah, I realized that that's not the way forward. So, mental health issues are some of the things that we need to be talking about. Okay, so this morning I'd plan on actually the reason why I decided to do this video. After God gave me the idea, I thought that okay, maybe it's just my mind. I thought that maybe okay, I'll do the video but not now. Or maybe it's not this was not the video that God wants me to do. Until a few hours ago, in my house, in my room, I was watching a video on my phone, and then my little brother came to my room. He said, "Can I come in?" I said, "Yes." What do you want? The usual, like, I was like, "What do you want?" Like, what happened? He said, "I want to talk to you." I said, "Why?" And then I said, "Okay." He came in, sat on my bed, and I was like, "I'll put your foot on my bed." I was like, "I'll put your foot on my bed." And then he was like, "Hilda, I want us to have a brother and sister relationship." I looked at him. I was like, "What?" I don't understand. Are you the one talking? Imagine, where did you get the idea that? Anyways, my brother is smart. He said that I want us to have a brother and sister relationship. We don't have that. We have a mother and son relationship. Well, he said at least that's what I'm trying to do. He said I always tell him what to do and want him to do certain things. Not that it's a bad thing, but he said that he wants me to listen and wants us to have the bond as brothers and sisters. Brothers and sisters are supposed to listen and advise each other. And I was like, hey, is that my little brother talking? But honestly speaking, I am so glad that he can come to me and tell me that, oh, this is what and what is happening. This is what I want. This is what I think. And I'm so glad that I was able to listen. So we talked for a while, listen to him first. So most youths nowadays find it hard to share their issues because they want other people to think that they're fine, they don't have problems, or they want their lives to look so perfect online. My dear, if you're going to it, say it. Find someone that you trust. Last month in April, I'm saying this because I know many people can relate. I was so broke. Imagine doing a business, yet still. I was so broke in the month of April. I don't know how, but it just happened that there were so many things going on and I was so broke. And I had to text my sister. That's the thing, communication. It's hard sometimes, but it is also good. So it is good for us to open up about what we're feeling. So the second part I'll be talking about is the parents. So oftentimes parents do not realize this, but based on their past experiences or a maybe a traumatic incident that had happened in their lives, they find it hard to express themselves. I kid you not, in our society right now, most of our African parents find it hard to communicate with us. The best way they can communicate with you is to yell, shout, not that it's their fault. Maybe it is because of the experiences that they had. So I was fortunate to work in an office a few years ago. I was there in the office and I saw a secretary lady shouted at by her boss. The lady could not bear it. She cried. So imagine, as a parent, you're going to work, you get to experience such the shouting and the embarrassment from your bosses. And when you come home, first person that they encounter becomes their target at pouring out their anger. Why? Because they're not used to expressing themselves. That is why in our African homes, we see our parents always shouting and screaming and yelling because they were not given the opportunity to express themselves. The only way they could express themselves is through anger, insults thrown at other people. And it does not make sense because the more you bring insult and anger to other people, you inflict your hurt on them and they become the same person too. So, as parents, I know it is hard, but if you have a partner, it is always necessary and important to express yourself to them. It is always important. If you don't have a partner, you can talk to your kids. You might be surprised how much knowledge that kid has in making you feel better. Or just pour out your emotions to God. He's the best person to listen. How mental health affects the kids. So when I was in school, right, I used to be called um Dry Memuna. There was a baby that the white people made. I'm saying the white people is because it was a white baby, a very tall, skinny, structured Barbie doll. Yeah, and I was called Dry Memuna. So I used to be called that name because I was very skinny. But now, see, that's not how I turned out to be. I'm not fat. I'm not skinny. I'm just round. When I was in high school, there were these bullies. I would say they were bullies because they used to bully me. There were these kids that used to call me Goma. But they used to call me Goma because they said my gum was plenty in my mouth. I don't even know how. And I remember when I was in school, primary school, they used to tell me that I was ugly. I had my mouth was long. Like there were so many things. And why I'm saying all of this is because as kids, it is important that you behave kindly to your peers because the way you say or whatever you speak into somebody's life, it affects them mentally, emotionally. So if at that time in my childhood stage, the kids around me were knowledgeable, they were kind, and they were trained up by their parents not to insult or tell their friends or classmates all sorts of words. I would not have been someone that grew up with struggling with her self-worth. I used to struggle with my self-worth, but that was then. That was in school days. I stopped. I gained confidence the moment I started knowing who I was. So one advice I would give is that it is said in the Bible that as parents we should train up the child in the way he should go, right? So as parents, it is your responsibility to talk to your kid, impart knowledge, tell them to be kind, not to insult their peers, not to insult others. Tell them to speak good of their companions and to always respect and not bully other people because you do not know what trauma your child will inflict on another person's child. And you do not know what another person's child is going through in his or her home for your child to come and add insult to injury. So, as a parent, before bringing a child to this world, please, I beg you in the name of God, please be prepared to train your child in a proper way. Tell them the truth. Teach them how to be kind, nice, and respectful people in the society. There was this day I went to a friend's place, right? And she was about to go take her sisters from school. So I said, okay, I'll come with you. We went to the school, took the girl child. On our way coming back, I asked her, I called her name and I was asking her, how was school today? What did you learn and all that? She was like, oh, school was fine. I learned this and this. But today they bullied me. I was like, why? She said that, oh, she's a class prefect and she wrote some names of noise causers and some of them were her friends and they got mad and started bullying her because their names were on the list. Thankfully, she is very confident. She's a very confident child and she does not allow people to take advantage of her. I told her, okay, they said this. What did you do? She said, I told my teacher. And I said, okay, don't ever fight. If they say any of these things to you, the first thing you do, go to your teacher and report this. And when you go home, you go tell your mom. And she said, okay. As a child, imagine that girl is below 10. I tell you, she's below 10. Why on earth would child bully the other because their name is on the list? Why would you talk in class if your teacher said keep quiet? And you want to blame the class prefect for writing your name and want to bully them? Please, not all children are confident enough. Not all children can speak up. So that is why I'm making this example. Talk to your kids. Let them not be the bully or let them not be bullied. So guys, I'd like to just say these few things. If ever there's something going on with you or you have an issue or something, find someone to talk to. Speak up. Do not be quiet. Find someone you trust. Also be kind. Be kind. As I said earlier, mental health affects the way we think, act, or behave. So don't think because someone doesn't have confidence in him or herself means they are less of who you are. Be kind to people. Do not judge. If you have more than the other person, share if you can. If you don't want to, then stay by yourself. Do not provoke or insult the person just because you have more. It is good for us to talk about issues that affect us. Find someone you trust. Talk about whatever that is going on with you. It is good to voice out whatsoever you are thinking, as long as it does not affect the other person or does not hurt the other person. Be like my brother. Find someone to talk to. Depression is real. Anxiety is real. But guess what? They are of the devil. Do not allow the devil to put them in you or inflict them in you because you are not depressed. You don't have anxiety. Be kind to people. And if you have something you want to talk about, talk to God first and then find someone you trust to explain whatever you're going through. I would like to thank you guys so much for watching my video today, and I hope that you share this video so that it may reach many people. Mental health issues are real. Now, it's important that we discuss about them to make our society a better place. So yeah, I also pray that God Almighty touches the hearts of the people that are going through anything right now but can't talk about it or don't have people to talk about their issues to. I pray that the Lord comforts you guys. I pray that the Lord gives you peace, the peace of God which surpasses all understanding. I pray it guards your heart and keep your minds in Christ Jesus. I pray that you find a way to go to Jesus and to just trust in him for everything. Thank you so much for watching my video, guys. Do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Hit the push notification bell so you'll be notified whenever I post a new video. And I'll see you guys on my next video. I hope this video has helped you guys.